What is... I just blanked on my question. Give me 1 second.
This will be the part we edit out, right?
Yeah, this is the part we edited out. Hey there, welcome to All Up in Your Business podcast with me, Kaylee Bain, your host. And today I am super pumped because this chick and I have been talking for quite a while now on the interwebs, on Instagram, but we've actually never met. I want to say it's been a couple years, maybe one or
Yes.
two. Yeah. So, hey, Michelle.
Hi, Kaylee.
Hi. I'm so excited to actually officially talk to you, meet you, get to know your business. I didn't want to ask you too many questions beforehand because I was like, oh, we need to wait because then you're going to give all the good stuff then. So,
Smart.
tell us, what's your business?
Yeah, so I own a couple of businesses. I own Coffee with Contractors, Cocktails with Contractors, and Sonder Luxe Home Solutions.
Oh my gosh, we have so much to dive into. Okay, so let's start with, which one did you start first?
Sonder Luxe and Coffee with Contractors kind of came about around the same time.
Okay, I was digging around your website a little bit before this so I can get an idea of kind of like, I had an idea of what you did, but then it gave me more and I'm like, whoa, like, we're going to talk more about this later because I have it literally written down to say, mention this. So, tell us what, Sonder Luxe, right?
Yeah, Sonder Luxe. You know, I started that originally as a project management company to be a homeowners advocate and homeowners rep in construction. I know we've all heard that homeowners are getting screwed over in their renovation projects. And so, you know, it really boils down to not having a process, not having somebody on your side fighting for you about how construction projects could go. So I'm in the process of qualifying it as a GC company, a fully, qualified general contracting company, and putting all that foundation into place. So that's Sonder Luxe.
I love that. That is like a male dominated area, right?
Correct. Yes.
I love
Construction is definitely male dominated or has been, but it's shifting actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love this. There's at my full-time job, I used to kind of produce a show, and it was all about women construction leaders. And they're
Oh,
from the West Coast, and I was like, oh man, that's like actually a super cool idea. And then I got to know yours a little bit, and I'm like, hold up, this is literally happening here. So I thought this was a really cool. I'll have to connect you. But
I
tell
love
us,
that. That's amazing.
it's
Yeah.
really cool. I think they're from Colorado,
Sweet.
but they have like a large women leader construction based company,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
That's
Um,
amazing. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more women going into leadership positions in construction for
oh,
sure.
it's so cool too. So tell me a little bit what that's like being a woman in that area, because we love a good area where we're just like not that well known. But are you like kicking ass there? I'm hoping.
You know, I believe I am.
That's fine.
Obviously, I created something to kind of bring the trades together with the Coffee with Contractors and Cocktails with Contractors.
Hmm.
And with Sonder Luxe, the GC route it can be really challenging for a lot of people. So I'm also on a mission to help more women feel supported going into that role. The test in North Carolina is a pain in the ass.
I'm sure it's anything like real estate sucks.
um, it's one of those things where you got to take it. You might have to take it a couple of times to get through it, but that's the beauty of construction. So, yeah, I think I'm kicking ass. I would say I
I know
am.
you are. I just need you to say it out loud.
Ma'am, I'm kicking ass. Is that what you
You are.
want?
Yes, yes, you are. Oh, I love that. And where does the name Sonder Lux come from? I'm so intrigued. I
That
love
is
the
one
sound
of
of it.
my favorite questions to answer.
Good. This is my
Um,
favorite question to ask. So great.
One day I was reading the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. It's this book about like we have we have emotions and all of our emotions don't always have a name, right? It's not just I'm feeling sad. There's like different layers and levels of it. And as I was reading that book, it's a weird book. Like it's not a storybook, it's not a dictionary, but it's kind of like a cross between the two.
Mhm.
I came across the word Sonder, and it literally means we all have this beautiful life that's interconnected, like an anthill. You can't always see the connections, you can't always see what's happening around you. You could be a passerby in somebody else's story, or you could be a supporting actor, character in their role, in their journey. And that's what Sonder means. This concept that we all are living a life that's connected that we can't see, and it's energetic flow. And when I read that, it was like a light bulb went off, and I said that has to be in my company name.
That's it. I totally get that. I think like creating a name for a business is such a huge deal. It's like naming your baby. Like,
Yeah.
this will be this child's name for its entire life, and it better be a damn good one. So what's it gonna be? And so it's like you think and think and think. So like my business, it used to be called Breezy Digital, and it goes on a play of like we had stupid nicknames from what I remember, like in not high school, from college when we did the hockey games, and like for some reason, like I called myself Breezy, and I'm like, yeah, Breezy. Like, why? I don't know, because I was an idiot 18-year-old, and so then all of my handles on everything are all K Breezy, with 2 E's on the end, because I thought I was so cool. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna name my business Breezy Digital, because duh. And then I went to go copyright it, or not copyright it, LLC it, and my lawyer's like, that a similar one is taken, so you can't do that. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I had to rename to Honey Gin, and that one took me a long, I had to do it quickly, but for me it took forever, because I'm like, it has to be perfect, because I am LLCing this, so that means it has to be good. And everyone's like, oh, you can do like Kaylee Bain. I'm like, no, like I don't want to.
Well, and one of my mentors always told me, don't use your name and don't use your initials for business, right? Like you got to think 10 steps ahead if you're going to sell it down the road or retire, whatever, create your legacy out of it.
Yeah. And yeah, so creating a name, finding the name. I had another business too. I talked about another episode where it was called Empowerment. And I was all about wanting to empower women to get out of toxic situations, relationships, whatever it may be. And I was like, man, this one has to be good. And I kind of the same thing. I was on Pinterest though, and I was just going through just words. And I was like, these are cool words. And I took Greek in college, and I wanted to be something cool that had a double meaning. And so I found the word eunoia.
Oh, okay.
So pretty, that. Right?
Yeah.
It's a word that means beautiful thinking and well-minded.
Oh my gosh.
So my business was called Empowerment, and I loved it. And it was amazing, and who knows, it may come back one day. But I love a good double meaning word.
Yes.
Right? It's so cool. So that's Sonder Luxe.
Yes.
I love it so much.
And the home solutions came in because just like we as humans all have stories, our houses all have a story to tell too. And it's all connected, right? So I think it all ties into that.
Oh, 100%. And I am all for, I like that too. And also kind of ties in a little bit if people don't know what it is exactly, at least the home solutions, like they know it's something to do with home.
Yeah.
And then tell me a little bit about the coffee and contracts.
Oh, yes. So coffee with contractors and cocktails with contractors.
I call it coffee with, I don't know what I just called it. I did not call it the right thing.
CWC. That's what we do. CWC. Yeah. So that's actually becoming a movement that I started. When I moved here to North Carolina, I couldn't find the trades. I moved from DC and I had great trades and great relationships up there, and I couldn't find those. It's like the good ones are hidden, like the good contractors, your good plumber, your good electrician. So I spent a year and a half networking all over the triangle. I went to every networking event I could think of and put my name out there, told people what I was doing as a project manager. And, it occurred to me, if I was struggling finding quality vetted trades and commercial, residential, whatever, than other people were. And so I said, I want to host a coffee with contractors. And I pitched it to a few people. I had a few people be like, oh, we would do that with you. It was cool. I expected 10 people to show up to the first one. I got 30.
Nice.
And then from then, I've had no less than 70 to 80, usually 80 to 100.
Holy shit. Like that's insane. That's
Um,
amazing. That's
I
so
know.
cool. And you do them, is it once a quarter or every other month or?
Yeah, it's quarterly. I haven't done one since July of last year. I'm actually in the process of building out a new room for it and like
Nice.
not a new space physically, but a new concept for it. So I'm working on that behind the scenes and um, just kind of in a pause right now to bring it back the right way, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that. That's so cool though. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was every time it was that. Like, holy smokes.
Oh yeah, every time it's blown me away. Like some of
Yeah.
those spaces had to sell out at 75 because they can't hold more
Yep.
than that.
I
But
learned that the
really,
hard way.
yeah,
When they say 90, it probably doesn't mean actually 90, but you
exactly.
know.
But the concept is really about community. It's built
Hmm.
by the community for the community. I'm just blessed I get to lead it. And it really is becoming I think, like I said, a movement and of people coming together in the trades. It's for every walk of life in the trade, whether you are a subcontractor, whether you're commercial, the mom and pop want to learn from the commercial guys, the ones that have made it big. They want to learn how you did that
Yep.
and apply those things to their businesses. And I think it's good for the commercial avenue to come in and remember that they started off small at some point too. I feature nonprofits that have the next generation getting involved in construction. We do educational panels. It's not just networking, it's really about building those relationships all the way around. And it's a passion. Like I said, it was an idea that started and then it turned into something. And that's where I think all up in your business where you are, you had this idea and it's turning into something, right? And
Yeah.
we as creatives have to protect our ideas and treat them as assets in business. And I'm thankful that people saw the value in it and the need, and it continues to grow even even in a pause. That's surprising to me. I think it's a beautiful gift.
And it's so hard not to overshare. Oh my God, I am the queen of oversharing. And I'm like, Kaylee, zip it. Like that,
Mhm.
stop it.
Mhm.
That's, people should be paying for that. You don't need to give everyone free advice for everything. And that was really
Absolutely.
hard for me to learn. Like,
Yeah.
really hard.
Well,
And it's,
it reminds me of boundaries, right? Like
ah,
boundaries can be expensive at first, but
mm-hmm.
then they teach you or they're going to bring money later, right? So that's a leadership lesson I think we all go through. Doesn't matter what avenue of business you're in, is like sometimes just keep things private till it's done.
And
Nothing
it's
wrong
so
with that.
hard 'cause I'm just not a private person, and I'm just like I've been learning how to do it, but oh God, it's been rough and tough.
Hmm.
And I'll always remember this. When I first started my business, I changed the business name over to Honey Gin, and she was my first ever consultation, like doing a social media consultation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like we've kept in touch. Like she is just the sweetest gem in the world. Oh my God, I love her. So she was my first social media consultation, and she told me, she's like, okay, like how much is it for it? I'm like, oh, like $50. And she's like, no, no, we just spent an hour and a half for you to teach me how to make a flippin' reel, and no, I'm not doing that. You're getting $200. And I was like, there ain't no way. No, that's not worth it. And she's like, oh, honey, it's worth it. You watch. And so she took my advice. She paid me $200. I was like, holy smokes, like that's amazing. And I was just like sweating a little bit. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. So then she went home and she took my advice for what I taught her on how to do the reel. And she went, I don't remember the numbers, but she went from like maybe a few views to like hundreds of views in like a day, just with like little tricks. And she's like, Kaylee, I did it. I told you I did it. And I was like, oh my God, you did it. I was like, look at you go. And she's like, it was well worth it, $200. So,
Isn't that amazing? And like when you teach somebody,
mhm.
I look at all of my platforms that way as an educational avenue in leadership. You're teaching others how to shine their light
Yeah.
and be comfortable doing it. And I think that's so amazing with what you're doing. like you and I discussed, we've kind of been following each other and eyeing each other for a while now, and I've been very impressed with what you've built with Honey Gin, your networking, and then now this podcast. And I'm just like, go, Kaylee, go! I've been cheering you on probably for like 2 years. So like,
Oh,
get it,
you're
girl.
so sweet. I also, sorry, you're gonna start hearing squeaking because my dog will not leave me alone and she wants to play with her toy now in the most inconvenient time ever. So sorry for everyone that listens to this and hears a few squeaks. Bailey says hi. But yeah, no, it's all, I mean, yeah, we've been following each other. I mean, we both do networking events. And the cool thing about networking events, I'm also a nerd. I love backup. So I created my networking event because in the social media um, world, when it's just you, yourself, and yourself, it's just like the most isolating, lonely feeling. So I literally created it so I can make friends. And then it turned into this whole like, oh, like other businesses are coming and oh wait, and then all of a sudden I had 80 people in this room that did not fit 80 people. I was like, what's happening? That wasn't meant to happen. Granted, now I have like maybe 25 max, which I'm totally cool with. Like I can easily talk to 25 people, but like, but the amount of people that come to those are so cool. And I get regulars, but I also get people who are just like don't like to network or they just want to meet trades. And I have a lot of tradespeople that come to mine too. And that's why I've been like so excited to I will make it to one of yours soon. I'm terrible at making it
We're
out.
gonna make it to each other's. It's gonna be
Right, we
great.
will do this eventually. I'm just so
Yeah,
bad at leaving my house sometimes. Oh my
I
God.
know. I'm the same way, and I can get overwhelmed with people, too much peopling too. So,
Social
you know,
battery dips.
yeah, I have learned in my all my walks of life that when my battery is low, I cannot pour into anybody else. So I will retreat and I'll be like
Yeah.
"Whoop," until I feel like I'm back in 100%, right?
Yeah, and being like I don't know if it's extroverted, introvert, or whatever the say. I'm very extroverted until I like hit that brick wall and I'm like, I need to go recharge for at
Yeah.
least a couple hours, but a whole day. Give me a day.
I'm the same way, but I will hit that and I'll just be like, nope, it's time to
Yes.
break. Like,
It's so hard.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I get that.
So now that we've gone over your networking events and Sonder Luxe and all the great things you do, what is a hard lesson you learned along the way?
I would say that a hard lesson I've learned along the way is that the construction industry can be transactional. And I also learned the lesson that I saw people working in silos, like in the industry, and it doesn't need to be that way.
Mm.
I think anytime something is growing, there are going to be learning curves. I've learned a lot the last couple of years about protecting what you build and making sure your foundation is strong and that it's okay as a leader to step back at times, right? It's okay to say something needs fixing and to patch the cracks in your own foundation so that it's stronger for the long haul. So I would say those are the tougher lessons I've engaged in this. I did not go into this thinking I would end up in a leadership role with this organization or this movement with the CWC community. I did it mostly to bring people together, bring the right trades, the right builders, the right in a room so we can talk about what's happening in construction. But yeah, well, like with any business, there's challenges. It's just how you navigate those challenges. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with boundaries. Boundaries are not a bad thing in leadership. They set you up for success.
Yeah, boundaries for me are one of my toughest hurdles because I'm a yes man all day long. I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I hate saying no because I don't want someone to be like, oh, that bitch. Like, it's just like, and that's not how it's seen at all. But in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, like they're not gonna like me. I'm like so much of a people pleaser, and I've definitely had to like take a step back and be like, no, like it is okay to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything. Like
Mhm.
it's still a really hard thing for me to do, even at work. So one of the reasons I went from Honey Gin full time to now I have a full-time job at Walk West where I produce podcasts, but also I was able to keep Honey Gin and do my stuff on the side, like for people that aren't even related to Walk West. So I get to still work with like my super small business people. I work with a nonprofit, they're my only client. But yeah, so it's just like it's two different things, but Walk West is really cool at really supporting me. They're very, build your brand, know your brand, be proud of your brand. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm proud of my brand. But when I had Honey Gin by myself, it was so hard to set boundaries with people because I didn't want people to think I was like a bad business owner or a terrible business owner or, God, like she just doesn't want to. It's like, no, like I have things set in place in a contract or an email that I sent you. I need things by a certain day for a reason, or you don't get it, or, I can't get it. Like, it's just like, I always felt really bad setting those boundaries where now that I work into a company where I stand with people that like can back me up and they're like, no, like there's a boundary for a reason and you have it here. Like, I just learned like I am not great at setting that boundary by myself. And it's like being okay with knowing you are okay with getting help is like hard for me because I don't want to get help from other people. I want to do it myself.
Well, I think as leaders, we also have to be okay with being disliked too, right?
Yep.
Not just like how you're a yes woman. I'm a recovering yes woman. Like I don't do that anymore. And I had to remind myself, not every opportunity that comes along is alignment, like alignment with your values, alignment with your trajectory or your vision. So the wrong partnerships in my world have taught me the right standards in this industry. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
And I'm all about paper trail, receipts, everything. Like, I have been burned way too many times, and especially towards the end of me being full-time Honey Gin, it just hit me. I'm like, if it's not in the contract, like word letter by letter in the contract, then like, I mean, sometimes people read it, sometimes people don't, but like, I now feel way more comfortable saying like, no, it's not in the contract, sorry.
See?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of empowering to be able to say that and be like, that's not what the
I feel like I hold like a special sword or something. I'm like, it's in the contract. Yeah. But like, either it's in the contract or there's an email trail, right? I'm always like, that's not in the contract, or it is, we have to do this. And they're like, well. And I'm like, no, it's in the contract. We have to do that.
Well, that just like, I'm so in alignment with you because I truly feel like business alone will test your boundaries more than your skill set. And, where contracts come into play, contracts are a major thing in construction, as you know.
I can't even imagine the crazy stuff you see.
It protects the homeowner. And I preach it all the time to my homeowners. I'm like, stop accepting contracts that are just blanket bids without everything lined item out and reading all the fine print. Because when you have a solid contract, you learn to protect your energy, your standards, you're learning to protect your work, and you're protecting your clients, right? Like it protects both of you.
Yeah. That's the thing. It protects both parties. So it's not just one or the other.
Contracts are really in place to kind of help mitigate disputes.
100%. Yeah.
Like, sure. I can't tell you the number of times where I have had really solid documentation. And that's another thing. It's not just contracts. You got to document everything when you're in business, right? Even as a small business owner, you have to document.
Like, even if you're doing an addendum or like changes, like change order or whatever it may be, like get that in an email and make sure they respond back.
When you're talking about the contracts you had and like how you've been burned and, Kaylee, I think a lot of small business owners have gone through that, that's part of the purpose of what I'm trying to do is one, with Sonder Luxe, I've seen homeowners burned time and time again by having contractors, subcontractors who just aren't taking the time to educate the homeowner on what's really happening behind the scenes in construction, how it really works. And on the other side of that, I've seen business owners get burned because they didn't have solid contracts. They didn't have a solid network, a referral group, or quality partnerships to help them, like again, that goes back to being siloed when you're a small business owner. You can even be siloed as a big commercial heavy hitter or, a big C-suite because you get into the weeds of running your company and you're not actually out there getting the support you need to like get through the weeds of every day.
Yeah. Like if I could do it all again, I would do it again. My whole thing is I'd probably want to bring on what's like a COO or the other person that like makes all the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like making decisions. I'm the most, what's it called when you can't, indecisive. I am the most indecisive person. I'm like, I don't know. I want the cheese, but I want the bread. Which one? I want both. Can we just do both? Can we do both all the time? Like I need someone else like to help make those decisions. And so that was the place I was trying to get to, is like where I could bring someone else on that could do like the money part, the hard talks part. Like I don't want to deal with that. Like I'm not good with it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's like, ugh. It makes me so uncomfortable. So.
Well, that you bring up a good point. It's like, at what point as business owners do you have to say, okay, I have to delegate something out?
Yeah,
Right?
and getting to that part is hard.
Yeah. And like as a small startup or a small business, you may not be able to afford it, or you may not think you can afford it, but is it costing you more not to do that? Is it costing you your scalability and your growth to not learn how to delegate? And you're right on the money with, bringing in even fractional, COOs or strategic growth partners. All of that is, I think we're going to see a lot more of that in business, especially the fractional part.
Yeah, so on my very first episode, I had Erica Rooney, and
I love her.
Isn't she great? Oh my God, she's like one of my besties.
That was such a great episode, by the way.
Oh, thank you. She's fun, but she's a fractional HR officer. I think I said that right. I always butcher it. But yeah, so that's what she does, and I never heard of this until I started it here. This is also my first corporate job. I guess we call it corporate, even though it's not really corporate. But I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what? So learning about all those, I'm like, I'd never even heard of any of this when I had my business. Like, none of it. And also going from my business and letting that go as my full time to then working for someone else was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, not actually, that's a lie. It's definitely not the hard. It was one of the, I want to say, top 5 maybe hard things I've done. And I worked.
I cannot. I mean, I've been there. I've had to let things go before. I can only imagine. Like,
and it's like you work so hard for it. And it's like your blood, sweat, and tears are in this thing, and then you just have to say, "Bye for now." I was really pumped because I worked with real estate agents. I helped do marketing, and like, so I took the job because I was like, "Oh, like I got this. This is great. I know what I'm doing." And I cried for 2 months straight. Every single day. I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Is this the right thing? I just realized I was at the wrong place. They were fine. They were great. I was just making flyers all the time. And I'm like, I could be challenging myself more. And I'm not being challenged enough here, which is fine. I guess I was at the highest spot I could get to.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, I wanted to do things where I'm learning. Like, I love to learn. And like with my business, I was learning, but like at the same time, I was just doing social media all the time and I was getting bored. And so like where I'm at now, like constantly learning things, because I never did a podcast. I had the thought of doing this podcast for 2 years, but I never did because I didn't know how to do it. And so it was just like a lot of learning, and there's so much learning, and it's never the same thing every day, which I also love.
With you walking away from that and your business, that also reminds me, we can outgrow dynamics without it turning into, hellfire and brimstone. And like, it doesn't have to be theatrics, right? Like we can just be like, I tried that, been there, did it, outgrew that space.
It's
not
fine. Yeah, and like people that were cool, I was like, flyers are fun, but also what would be more fun would be doing something different. So it was just like, and not saying anything bad about it or what I was doing. It was just the same thing, either social media post or flyer post.
Yep.
So now I get to do a whole bunch of stuff. Plus I get to still work with the nonprofit. Plus I get to do this podcast. And so it's like I'm constantly doing something different, and I love it. It's amazing.
You strike me as that kind of person who just, you thrive when it's something different every day.
Yes. 100%. And like all my clients, I think I have like 11 or so clients, give or take, at work, and they're all very different. And I
Oh,
love it. That's like, it feels like I'm doing something different because I'm working on different accounts every day,
hmm
which I have very self-diagnosed ADHD, and I get very bored very quickly.
yeah.
I'm like, give me something, I'm itching.
Yeah, I'm actually diagnosed ADHD, and mine hits at night. So like my creative juices are turning on at like 10 o'clock at night when my husband's like, it's time for bed, and I'm like, sing.
No, it's not.
I'm like,
Oh my God.
no, I'm up. We're doing this.
See, I can't. Do you sleep with a TV on or off? Oh, first off, do you have a TV in your room?
No, we actually do not have a TV in our room.
You are so strong, Michelle. You are so strong.
That actually changed about 8, 10 years ago. We just realized we were not sleeping well because I would be up with the TV on, or he'd be up with the TV on, and so now,
Especially, you got two people in one room. It's just me, so I don't
yeah,
have to fight with anyone. Like when the TV's off, it's off.
we kind of make our room like our Zen space, and then the rest,
Yeah,
like that's our time to reset. And so, even
100%.
when my brain is on at 2 o'clock in the morning, I usually have a notepad or a book by me, and I'll like either read to calm it down or do whatever. I don't get up and like actually work. Like,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
Again, you're
I
so
try to
strong.
distract myself and like write down my idea, and I'll get to it later.
Yeah. See, like I can't sleep without some kind of sound at night. Like I should probably get a white noise machine. I'd be fine. But like this comes back to sophomore year of college when my college boyfriend broke up with me and I was heartbroken and I was like, I cannot sleep. I'll never sleep again. So I started watching Family Guy of all stupid things to put on the TV. And like that would be on and it was so mindless and dumb and had no rhyme or reason to it. Because if I'm watching something, I have to be watching it. Because I'm just
Yeah.
like free. But like Family Guy, for whatever reason, it's just dumb. And I'm not listening to it. It's literally just like white noise. Because I'm like, all right, I don't need to pay attention. And I've never once paid attention to it. It's just on in the background when I'm sleeping. And then I only do it for like 30 minutes and I fall asleep. And then my dog cuddles up with me. And I
And
can't fall asleep without sound. And I'm realizing it's a problem.
it's not a bad thing. I usually have to fall asleep with music or something like talking in my ear, like a book, an audiobook, because I grew up that
And
way.
you miss
So
everything they say.
that's okay. That's what repeat.
Oh,
Rewind is for.
in my head, I'm like, but you're missing everything, and then I don't know where I left off, and then if I repeat it, then I get annoyed because it's repeating.
I, to be fair, I
don't
have
know
an audiobook that's probably 8 hours long. I've probably repeated the first 4 hours like 6 times now. Like,
Oh my god, it's so
it's fine.
funny because I read at night too, and I'm like, oh my god, what if my butt? I can't read with the fan on because then I'm too cold. So then I read and then I get tired and I'm like, oh, I need to go brush my teeth and turn the fan on. And then I'm up and I'm like, oh, I'm wide awake now. It's just a vicious cycle every day.
I think as leaders, we have to learn to manage our creative when our creative juices are flowing and not fight it.
For
You
real
know,
though, yeah.
like it's okay. We're neurospicy, right? We're not meant
Real
to
spicy.
do the 9 to 5.
We are very
5
spicy.
a.m.
I'm
Like I
forever use that now.
a meal at 5 a.m. Like it's okay. We don't live in that world.
So tying this all back together, what's a piece of advice you would give someone wanting to start a business?
Verbal alignment is not legal protection. The bigger the room, the more structure you need. Like that's just reality.
Yeah,
hmm
that's a good one. Not a lot. I mean, I think you're my 13th, 14th person I've interviewed, and so far, maybe one, but even then, like, no one's said the same kind of advice, which I think is so interesting. I love that. Like,
hmm
yeah,
I'll
the bigger the
repeat it
room.
in case people want to. People listening want to hear it again. Verbal alignment is not legal protection, and the
Yes.
bigger the room, the more structure you need.
Hell to the yes. Just screaming for the people in the back. That's so good. Like, oh, it's so
I'll add
good.
one little tidbit to that too, because I want to tie it all the way back into our boundaries conversation because we've had a lot of conversation on boundaries.
Yeah.
Um, Remember that boundaries are a leadership skill. They're not an emotional reaction.
Yep. Scream that out to the rooftop. My God. Oh my gosh. And I think is one of the hard, I know I'm like, that's the hardest thing. No, that is literally the hardest thing because everyone, not everyone, but people are like, oh, she's being emotional. No, I'm literally just putting my foot down. And I'm sorry if
Yep.
that bothers you.
And I will always be the first to own my shit. I will own
Hmm.
my shit. You have but to ask. I will tell you exactly what it is, whatever. But I will always stand 10 toes down on business at the end of the day. It's
Yeah,
business.
it's your baby that you've worked
Yeah.
so hard on. Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
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 Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you? Like, yeah, stick it
Yeah.
to it. Oh my God, that's just so good though. Yeah. I can't stand when people they're like, "Oh, you're just being emotional." And I'm like, "No. It's not my PMDD week, okay? Chill.
Yeah.
I'm not emotional right now."
It's okay to say no to things, and not everybody's gonna like it. That's where you have to be okay being disliked as a leader, you know? Not everybody's gonna agree with your decision. But guess
No,
what?
and
I'm not
I'm
here to
definitely
be people pleasing like that
yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time.
And I'm not getting into anything, but especially in the times now, like standing your ground, it's hard. It's just really hard. And so it's just I think we need to be a little bit more graceful with ourselves and being and reminding ourselves like it's okay if you believe this, like stand your ground and know
Yeah.
you're not emotional, like that's your literal boundary, like just stick with it.
We all know we know what our integrity is and our
Hmm.
values. And just because somebody's values or integrity may not match yours doesn't mean that you're wrong or your values are wrong. You
Hmm.
know, it just means, okay, this is not in alignment anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and I also will be the first one to walk away because I protect my peace
Same.
at all costs. I don't
Yep.
care who, what, if it's drama, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I'm very much like a retreat. I'm like, okay, that was fun. And I'm like, I just don't
Mhm.
have the energy. Like I've lost friends over that and I'm as sad as it was losing people, like I'm honestly okay because I feel really good about myself because like I know my truth and that's all I care about. If you don't want to see it
Absolutely.
that way, then I'm sorry. Like it's fine.
And I don't think there's a leader today who has not lost something for standing up for what they believe in. You
Right. Yeah.
know, there's not. I think we've all lost friends or we've all lost connections when we put our foot down, especially if we do it in a classy, disruptive way.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
my taglines on LinkedIn are disrupting the construction community with dignity and class. But not everybody's going to like that. We live in the
Mhm.
South. Sometimes they like it to be swept under the rug and not talked about, but that's not going to change things.
No.
It's not going to help facilitate change in these industries that we're in.
Yeah. And I believe people, clients, whatever it may be, like people definitely come, whether it's for good or bad. But I
Hmm.
mean, I think like everything's to teach you a lesson. So, I
It's a
mean,
failing forward. You're
yeah,
going to fail at some things. We can't be perfect.
yeah. And it's
Um,
gonna be hard, but you just gotta pick up and keep going because there's literally you can't go back and redo it. So you might as well just keep going forward.
you might as well just move on.
Like it's happened. You can't
Yeah,
take that back. So
that happened, and next.
exactly. And like for some things I've had happen to me, they're like, "How did you move on?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I didn't have a choice. I had to keep
Mhm.
going."
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We can be kind people and still be firm.
Yep.
And as recovering people pleasers, we both
Mhm.
also can remind ourselves that access to us is a privilege, not a guarantee, right? And
Yes.
our energy and what we're putting out in the world to try to change it. And Kaylee, I just have to say, I'm just so impressed with you.
Me? For
Yes, yes, girl. I love to see when business owners, business leaders, startups, mom and pops, they take an idea and they turn it into something.
oh,
And I see you doing that with this podcast and with your honey gin. And yeah, maybe you're scaled back on honey gin right now, but that doesn't mean you won't scale it again later when the time is right.
very true. Because who knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen? I don't even know what's going to happen, but
None
I
of us
appreciate
do,
that.
right?
Thank you. You know, this is definitely a passion project of mine because I'm so nosy. AKA, if you're a Patreon supporter of mine, I have a nosy neighbors club. Um, you can start at $3
I
a month.
love
It's less than your
that. That
coffee.
is so cool. Yeah.
I haven't pushed it. By the time this comes out, I'll have pushed it, but right now I have not pushed it at all because I just started. But no, I am a nosy person. I want to know what's going on in everyone's stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you do this? I want to know what the why is. That's literally why I did this, so I can just talk to people. I'm like, why'd you start it? What'd the name come from? You know, like I just want to know all the things. It's
Well,
fun.
I started it to help heal an industry. I started my stuff to help heal an industry that
Mm,
is extremely broken and extremely siloed and very transactional. And I think it's time that we say, put our foot down and make construction viable again. Make
yeah.
it sexy.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I love it. And
Yeah.
then last thing I'll end with is she's going to tell you how to follow her, how to go find all of her amazing stuff. But when I was poking around your website, I saw your portfolio.
Hmm.
Oh my God. If you're listening to this, you have to go run to her website, go to the portfolio section because they're amazing and beautiful and gorgeous, and I want all of them in my house. Like, you created all that?
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I work with a really dedicated team. The type of general contractor I'm achieving and striving to be is the kind that is fully transparent across the entire project. And so I will tell people up front, I outsource the design work because I believe in supporting interior designers. I don't play into this game where they don't have a stake in this industry. They very much belong here.
Mhm.
I love working with designers because I truly don't have the patience to do CAD. Like I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, wait,
Um,
is that a software, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's how you do the floor prints and the
Right.
drawings and like,
That
And
bit. Got it.
honestly, when you work with different designers across, I've worked with designers in DC, I've worked with designers down here. When you work with that, you learn different ideas and you get to make those come to life. And so, yes, all the projects on my page I have done at one time or another across the last 10 years of my career.
They're gorgeous.
And I
And
can't wait to
it's
add
so
more to
cool.
that portfolio.
I love that you're very like I can't stand when someone's like, "Oh no, I did all that." It's like, "Did you though?"
I
I
mean,
don't know about that. But I like that you like embrace supporting other people and you're like, "Yeah, yeah, this is who I work with." And like this is if you and that's where you can like kind of tailor it to their creative side. Oh, do you like this kind of mindset or this kind of mindset? Which one I guess goes best with you if that's how you I'm not sure if that's how you do it, but
yeah, pretty much when I get a client, I let my clients pick out of my roster of
mhm.
qualified people that have like-minded values as me. They're working in alignment. We're all kind of thinking the same way. We treat business the same way. Even if we're out of the box thinkers, we communicate the same way. So I will let them pick. Now there's certain sub trades that I'm like, nope, this is it. Like if
Mhm.
you want to work with me, this is who you're getting on your electrical because I've just like you been burned a few times on, not having the right trades. But for the most part, when it comes to the designs, when it comes to architects, I'll even tell my clients, I'll be like, go get two other bids. Mine doesn't have to be the only bid you get. I'm not here to, rob everybody in the construction world. I'm here to make a difference and make
Yeah.
change. And so I think by collaborating and having a team and actually opening the door and saying, hey, I bring other people in. I bring subcontractors in. I bring designers in. I bring architects in. Like it's not just me. That makes a project go so much more smoothly across the board.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, you have been amazing. I love your mindset. I have no doubt that you're gonna like kill it in this field. If you're not already, you are. You are already doing it. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're great, and I'm very excited to see your events grow and your business grow. So tell us, where can everyone find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, so Sonder Luxe is sonder-lux.com.
And it's
And
LUX or LUXE?
LUXE.
Okay.
We're going for the extra luxury.
I just
Uh,
want to make sure I had the E for extra. So
Yep. And then coffee with contractors and cocktails with contractors, that's at cwcrdu.com.
I
And then, of
am.
course, you can find the Instagram handles and the LinkedIn handles under both names. So,
And all of these links are also going to be in the show notes. So when you are hearing this, you're like, oh my God, I need to see it. They're going to be in the show notes so you can quickly go find them. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited we finally got to meet, even if it's virtual right now. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry I couldn't be in person, but I'm so excited we got to meet either way. So.
Oh, this is amazing. Keep going, Kaylee. Keep shining your light. You're killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys, and thank you all for listening. Do your thing. I'm eventually going to get this part right. Go like, subscribe, follow, rate, review, all the things you do, where you're watching and listening and all things. And if you can see me, I'm really awkward right now because I don't know what to say. But yeah, and I hope y'all have a great day and see you next week.